Well, hello there, friends. Scott from Platte River Keto. If you're new to my channel, welcome. On my channel, you get to come along for the ride on my keto journey. I check in with you at least once a week to update you on my progress. And I also try to check in with you at least one other time a week to talk to you usually about something I've learned about keto, but sometimes just a little bit about this journey that we call life. Today is November 7th. It's Monday, so it's not a check-in day. I usually check in on Saturdays. And today I wanted to do, for lack of a better term, a how to survive the holidays on keto, or some things that have been helpful to me, that were helpful to me last holiday season, and some things that I'm planning on implementing this holiday season to get through the holidays. And I say get through the holidays as if the holidays are a bad thing. The holidays are a wonderful thing. I love the holidays. I love Thanksgiving. I love Christmas. I love the time that we get to spend with our families. Having said all of that, they can be a difficult time for us from a food perspective because there's a lot of unhealthy, non-keto foods available. And anyway, yeah, so that's what I wanted to talk about today. I wrote some things down, so if you're see me looking down, it's because I tried to organize my thoughts. So the very first thing when it comes to the holiday season is you need to decide what do you want to get out of the last 2 months of the year. And in my opinion, there are three different things that are three different paths, I guess, that you could take. Path number one is to lose weight during the holiday season. Yes, it actually happens. I actually last year, I'm trying to remember, probably lost 25 pounds. Maybe even 30 pounds. Now, this was, towards the beginning of my weight loss journey, but I lost quite a bit of weight during the holiday season. So, do you want to lose weight during the holiday season? Personally, as you know, I am in the middle of a challenge right now. And my goal is to be under 300 pounds by December 31st. So, obviously, you know where I'm sitting. My goal is to lose some weight during this holiday season. So, that is option number one. Hello there, Mittens. My cat decided she wanted to make a quick appearance in my video today and say hello. But so that's option number one, is you want to lose some weight during the holiday season. Option number two, would you like to maintain? My wonderful friends, the two crazy ketos, who are absolutely fantastic, they talk about just stay keto, during the holiday season. So are you looking to maintain? Maybe indulging in more keto treats, that sort of thing, not focusing on losing necessarily, but maintaining, just staying keto, maintaining yourself on the keto journey, but probably allowing yourself, like I said, more treats, more snacks, that sort of thing. That's option two, and that's definitely an option that a lot of people like to take this time of year. Option number three, would you like to fall completely off the wagon so that you have gained as much weight as possible so that you have the best opportunity to win that January challenge that you know is coming in your friend groups in your gym? Okay, I sort of say that one in jest. But that is the third option, of course, is saying, oh, I'm going to not worry about keto from now until the end of the year, and, I'll start back up in January. I don't think that's the best option. Having said that, that is certainly an option. You could certainly do that, and many people do. I think there are some studies out there that say that people gain, on average, like 10, 15 pounds during the holiday season every year. A lot of people are able to actually work that back off in January or February when gym memberships are renewed and challenges are issued. So is that what you want? I hope not. I think if you've bothered to happen upon or be listening to my channel or watching my video, you're interested in the keto lifestyle and health in some way, shape, or form, and you've taken the time to watch this video. So I'm thinking that probably isn't the option you're going for, but it is an option. I mean, you can give yourself, say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and take a break. You kind of have to know yourself too. I don't think that would work for me at all, but it might work for you. So I'm not saying it's the wrong choice, but I am saying that the first thing I think you need to do when going into the holiday season is saying, what is it going to look like for you? What do you want to get out of it? Like I said, do you want to lose? Do you want to maintain? Or do you want to just kind of hit the pause button on your keto journey? That's a much nicer way of saying that, right? Than saying that you want to balloon up as much as possible, because nobody wants to do that. So that's number one. Make those decisions. So the second kind of holiday tip or thing I want to talk about a little bit is holiday parties. There are going to be holiday parties that you're probably going to get to go to, whether it be a work Christmas party or something that you're gathering that your friends have, that kind of thing. There's going to be some holiday parties. And I have some tips that I've heard from other people. Some of them I've heard from other people. Some of them are things I've just thought about to help you with those holiday parties. Thing number one is going to be to eat before you go. If you are absolutely starving at a holiday party, before you go to a holiday party, the likelihood that you are going to overindulge in some things that you know that you shouldn't is much higher. It's like the whole concept of going to the grocery store when you haven't eaten for a long time. You end up buying a bunch of stuff you don't need. Even those of us on keto, even me on keto, when I go to the grocery store and I'm starving, I end up buying things like steak and, but I buy cheese sticks, I buy, when you're starving, you want food, and any food sounds good. So that's one of the tips for going, if you know you're going to be at a holiday party, eat before you go. Somewhat related to this would be to find out what the menu is, if you can. Most people are pretty open about sharing that. I actually asked last year, my work party, I'm like, what's going to be there? Because I wanted to know, basically my work holiday party last year was actually basically just a holiday dinner. So I wanted to know what was going to be there, so I was going to know if I was going to be able to eat. The good news is I'm not the only person that's health conscious at my office. I am the only person currently on keto. But so there were some good vegetable options and there were some meat options and that sort of thing. So anyway, it was good. But I think for the most part, people are pretty comfortable sharing with you what's going to be on the menu at a holiday get together. And that way you can know beforehand, you can plan beforehand what it is that you will be partaking in and what you won't be partaking in. And I really, I'm going to hit that over and over again on the few things that I have on my list here, but plan, prepare. Don't go into this thing totally shocked when the only thing available is pasta, or the only thing available is pizza. I'm not saying you couldn't eat the toppings off of a pizza, but you don't want to go in blind if you can avoid it. And sometimes you can't avoid it, but for the most part, people are pretty open and willing to share. In this day and age, when people have food allergies and people have different eating lifestyles, it's a pretty common question to say, hey, looking forward to coming to your party. What are we going to be serving there? I have some kind of dietary things that, are important to me. And like I said, most people are usually willing to share. The other thing is if possible, if it's a potluck kind of a situation, bring a keto treat, bring a keto main dish, or bring a keto side dish to share. That way you know that you're going to have something to eat and you're going to know exactly what's in that thing. Even things that are supposedly keto, you might not know what spices or rubs are on the meat and what went into the vegetables, that sort of thing. But if you bring something, you definitely know what it is. So that's my third tip, I guess, for going to holiday parties. Next thing, this time of year, there's a lot of goodies at the office. Not quite as much in what I do for a living. It's actually crazy. We have, as an accountant, we have tax season, and I swear we have more goodies during tax season. There are cookies or bars or something on the break room table all the time during tax season. So I have to be aware of that. But, holiday season is a very common time where, even in my work, clients will give us holiday treats, that sort of thing. And it seems like there's almost always something in the break room. I've been at this keto journey for about 15 months. Honestly, that stuff doesn't really tempt me much anymore. But I mean, it may not be true for you. You may be new to this way of life, and you may be just starting out, or it may still tempt you after 15 months or 2 years or 3 years. Having that stuff sitting there in the break room could be very tempting for you. So one of the things that I would recommend, knowing, if you know, and again, this comes back to planning, if you know that there's going to be possibility that there's going to be keto treats in your break room, have not non-keto treats, non-keto treats in your break room. Have a keto treat in your office somewhere. Have something in your desk drawer. Have something that you really like that could be your go-to. If a temptation arises, you can go and get whatever your favorite keto treat is. I know that my wife really likes, for example, the keto chocolate chips. Are they a good thing to snack on all the time? Probably not, but they're a really good thing to snack on when the foods teacher right next door to my wife has just made really good looking cinnamon rolls or really good looking brownies. Having that keto treat available, it can be the difference between maybe falling off the wagon a little bit and maybe having a bit more in the way of keto treats than you want, but definitely stay in keto. So that's a good thing to do for having goodies around the office. The next one is family gatherings. Going to have some family gatherings possibly during this holiday season. I know that I am. A few questions to possibly ask yourself, again, to plan. One, does your family know about your health goals and do they support you? Being a part of this keto community for a while, I know a lot of people have really supportive families and really great families, and people who are wanting to support them in their journey and to be helpful to them. I also know of other people who unfortunately don't have that support of their families. Their families are not on board. They either think that somehow keto is going to kill them, or for whatever reason, they just don't want them to have success. So that's a question to kind of ask yourself. Is your family on board with your health goals, and do they support you? Do they know about your health goals? Would it be helpful if they knew about your health goals? Once again, that was what I just talked about. Some families are great about that, and some are not so much. The next thing, once again, just like the holiday parties, find out what's being served at the dinner or the family gathering. What can I bring? Would be something. Can bring a keto food to share. And the other question that you need to ask yourself, and this isn't just about keto, but I'd say generally speaking, the holidays are a time for family, and that's definitely true. But if you happen to be one of those people where your family is not supportive or is even trying to hinder you for some reason on your journey, you have to decide for yourself whether it's worth it to go and attend that event. Family's important. I love my family, and for the record, my family is super, super supportive. They're great. They're wonderful. We've already planned Thanksgiving. We've got keto foods available. Everybody knows where I stand, and that I eat keto, and they're very supportive of that. Nobody's trying to tempt me with other things. But if that situation is where you find yourself that kind of thing is happening for you, you kind of maybe have to decide whether or not you want to attend that event, because you know what? You are important. You matter. Your health journey matters, and the things that are important to you matter. And it may not be worth the possibility that you might get thrown off on your journey to attend this family event. You're important. You matter, and what you're doing matters. So anyway, that's something to keep in mind. Finally, I guess we'll call it the fifth tip or whatever you want to say, is thinking about the actual days. We've been talking about the season, and there's going to be a lot of things during the season: family get-togethers, goodies at the office, holiday parties, all those things that we've already talked about. But let's talk about the actual Thanksgiving Day, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, that sort of thing. For these specific days, what are you going to do? We've already talked about what do you want to get out of the last 2 months of the year. In addition to what do you want to get out of the last 2 months of the year, what do you want to get out of those days? Thanksgiving Day, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. The reason that I ask that is because even if you're planning on being keto throughout the holiday season, you might decide that for Thanksgiving Day, you just have to have some of grandma's sweet potato pie. You just have to have a piece of pumpkin pie. You just have to have some of grandma's stuffing or mom's homemade stuffing. Those things definitely aren't keto. But again, you're the one who's in charge. You're making the decision. If you've planned ahead and thought about it to make that decision, and you're not sitting there in the moment without a plan. If you don't have a plan, more than likely you might be indulging in some of those things. So that's what I mean when I say think about those actual days. Think about, do I want to remain keto, or do I want to have this, that, or the other treat? And I would say, even if you're gonna, quote unquote, go off the plan for that particular day, decide what it is that's important to you, because not every non-keto food is important to you. Be honest with yourself. Is every single thing that your family brings for Thanksgiving, are they all your favorite foods? They're probably not. There might even be something you don't really like all that much. But we have a tendency to throw everything on our plate. And I don't know about you, but for me, if I put something on my plate, I tend to eat it. So I would say to think about that. Are you going to completely go off the wagon? Are you going to allow yourself a couple of things that you might want to try on Thanksgiving Day or Christmas Day or New Year's Day? Or are you going to remain keto? And again, if there's nothing else that you get from my video today, it would be to make a plan. If you don't have a plan, If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Um, there's a lot of emotion and there's a lot of nostalgia and all that sort of thing wrapped into holidays and the holiday and the food is around the holidays and the gatherings of the holidays. Um, and if you don't plan, it's real easy to fall into that trap of doing something that you didn't want to do. If you'd have thought about it, maybe you weren't going to do that thing, and maybe you would do that thing. Maybe you would have that piece of pie or that piece of cake or that whatever that treat is for you. But then that you consciously made that decision and you weren't just driven by the winds of whatever was going on at that particular moment. So think about those things. The other thing that I would say, and the last thing that I'm going to say about the holidays here today, is to think about ways to celebrate the holidays other than food. Is that really what the holidays are about? Sure, there's a lot of food, there's a lot of great food, there's a lot of nostalgia, there's a lot of happy memories wrapped up in food. But at the end of the day, is that really what the holidays are about? I would say that that is not what the holidays are really about. The holidays are about family time. They're about memories. If you're a religious person, there's that aspect involved. I definitely am. For me, Christmas is definitely about the birth of Jesus Christ, and that's very important to me. But even if that's not the case for you, family is important, and those memories, and they might somehow be related to food, but that's not really what the holidays are about. So I would challenge you to think about that and think about what is it that you want to get out of the holidays, and how can they be a good thing for you that isn't focused on food. And I'm saying this to you from experience because many, many, many years of my life, holidays, celebrations were all about the food. And it has been such a joy and a positive change in my life for the holidays to not be about that. Again, family time, memories, giving to others during the holidays, experiences, not food. So that would be the last thought that I want to leave you with is think about what it is that you want from the holidays. Anyway, I hope that these tips have been maybe helpful to you in getting ready for the holidays, getting ready for Thanksgiving and Christmas. You can do it. If you want to stay keto, you can do it. I'm living proof of that. I was pretty new to keto last year when the holidays came around, and things went really well for me. So you can do it. I know you can. Make a plan and work your plan. Keep calm and keto on, and we will talk to you guys soon.